Radish manning the point, got it to Kucherov, comes back to Radish. He'll flip it back into the corner, quick pass to Point, scores! Holds it, curls back, 15 seconds in the power play. Kucherov shoots, scores! Nikita Kucherov! Radish moves this one across to Hedman, back up top to Radish. Kucherov to the net, and no signal yet.
And it hit the white bars. Kucherov will get credit for this one because it went off the Ottawa defense.
Cirelli lost his helmet on the play, had to head to the bench, and now off the bench comes Point. Point, Gord, shot, scores! Feeds it back to the corner for Gensel, back up top to Max Crozier. Hagel drops it off, McDonough scores! Point season for him again last year. And here's a chance for Gage Gonzalez. Loose puck, left side. Centers it back across the grain. In front, they score! Fed down low to Gonzalez. Gensel to Cirelli. Scores! Anthony Cirelli with his second goal of the game. Being defended there by Jeannot. And the Bruins just trying to get it out here. And here's a chance right in front for Holmberg. Curls it back.
Oh my.
Scores! What a goal! Holmberg to Gord. And Geeky and McAvoy was tangled up as well. Here's a chance. Scores! Pontus Holmberg finds the loose puck and tucks it home.
Good vision, the White Grizzlies to find him. Pass down low to McKay. Trying to walk it in front. Jammed on goal. They score the rebound. Puck to the line. Teravainen trying to get it up. Kicks that, switch it over with the empty net. And it's McCabe. He's got one. Make it two. And that'll seal him.
Al, thanks. We'll see how they mesh tonight against the Lightning Bolts. Tampa Bay in the white jerseys. Quick set play, they score. Gensel. Hedman straight away. He'll dust it off. Find Kucherov next. Hedman. Wrister deflection score.
Aaron Dickinson will get a touch to get it deep, and Hofer wanders out again. Oh, gave it away, and they score! The normally sure-handed puck handler in Joel Hofer put it on a platter for Ilya Mikheyev and his...
Moser looks, dishes, gets it back, pulls the shot back, being watched by Edmondson. Another try, scores! Lightning have not won a face-off battle yet this season. Here's McDonough, scores! Long-range wrist shot. Points in the bumper. Hedman dishes off again. Gensel looking for options in front of Cirelli. Scores! Anthony Cirelli.
Protas has the rebound for Washington. John Carlson towards the net. Deflection try. That goes wide of the goal as well.
Demko didn't see that.
Carlson alone. He scores!
Across the line, Kucherov drops one and goes to net. The return, just one. Tried to bank it out in front. Off the bench, shot. McDonough to Kucherov, the one touch to McDonough. McDonough drops. Kucherov carries. Kucherov, centering pass. Score! Give and go! McDonough off the feed from Kucherov.
Cabs have it. 3-on-3 through center. Off and running McMichael, throwing some snow there at Matejchuk. Drive and score! From long range, Carlson on the board.
Here's Gensel, puts it in front. Loose puck, scores! Jake Gensel tucks it home. Kucherov to Point. Point into the back and in front, scores! 2-1 Lightning. Across to the captain again. Victor Hedman in front, scores! Anthony Cirelli taps it in, and on this play, Hedman at the top, flips it down into the corner, Cirelli in the middle, scores! Anthony Cirelli! Right in front of him. Marner got in the way. Here's Gensel, finds the open man. Hedman with a shot, save, Lindbaum, rebound, score! Howden on the right side is going to drop it off for Theodore. He's cut off, and here comes the first chance. Up the ice, it's Hagel with Kucherov. Kucherov, Hagel, Kucherov, scores! He's really in trouble after that shot block. He's on one leg out there right now. Out in front, scores! Zemgus Girgensons! They couldn't get a shot from Hagel. Here they come again. Jay shoots. Oh, what a stop! Another one. Hagel's right there. He
scores.
Now here comes the Lightning up the ice with some speed. Point drops it off. Destu shoots. Scores! Show! Antoine Destu! What a beauty for his first NA. Pass it then back to the line. Does not get there. There was Cirelli. Here's Hagel. And wide open. Nikita Kucherov is going to seal the deal. Playing a little keep away now. This one's sent up, and it's another 2-on-1 chance. You got Girgensons and Holmberg to the net. Holmberg in there, rebound, scores.
Destu with the keep in. Fires it across. Gonsalves rink wide. Hagel off the goal line. It's in. Now they wave it off. Cirelli trying to chip it around Johnston and go get it. Anthony Cirelli with a pass to the net in overtime. Scores!
Off the ice. Girgensons cuts across it in the middle, leaves it for Gord. Gord to Lilleberg, back to Gord. What a goal!
Right now, he doesn't have the confidence, and it shows.
Yeah, no points in his last. He picked up an assist against Dallas, but no goals yet. Oh, that one is in off the ball. In the nation's capital, an overtime win there for Washington that game. Lightning are coming off back-to-back overtime wins. Scores! Champ, time for maybe one last push for the Mammoths, but they give it away. McDonough, Hagel, empty net, and that will do it. Brandon Hagel, empty net goal.
On the near side, Taves using his body. Lightning trying to keep that cycle going. Yanni Gord's been out there for an awfully long time. Score! Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 3 for 3 on the PK.
Special teams are key. You look at both those players could both well end up in the top 10 of NHL scoring.
Point with a backhand flip, and he scores!
A shift for the Ducks fourth line. Ross Johnston gets in, turnover, Harkins in front. Bobrovsky made the save, he scores on the rebound.
To McKay from behind the net. Oliver Moore. Got it in front, Donato can't pull the trigger. They score, McKay, the former Canuck.
Chronicled Alex Ovechkin's 900 goals in his career and outdid themselves again tonight. Carlson closing in, spins, fires, score!
Well, the Lightning dig this one out. Here's Gonsalves. Feeds it up front. And it's flipped back in by Bjorkstrand. Here's James out in front. Gonsalves scores! Knocks it down the ice. Chipped into the middle, skating to that one is Bjorkstrand. He gets a shot away, and Lindblom. Rebound! Oh, another rebound! They score! And the Lightning have tied the game. First NHL goal for Dominic James. Here's Radish with a blast. Big shot block, rebound. Lindblom down. Comes into the corner across. Kucherov scores! Nikita Kucherov! Lilleberg traps it. Drops that one back into the corner. Vegas can't contain it. Knocked back towards the net. Badlick scores! It's Brandon Hagel!
And look who's out there, James in the middle.
Why not? He's hot with 3 points tonight. Here's Hedman. Kucherov scores! Dorfiev, his drive. Hurdles there. Rebound picked up. Kucherov, nice move. Empty net. And they're not going to miss this one. No, sir. Brandon Hagel gets it around to Nikita Kucherov. 3-point game for him. He'll go wide. The Lightning step in on the line. The trailer is Destu. Back into the corner. Back out in front. Scores! Emil Lilleberg! His first. Here's Dominic James. Scored his first career goal on Thursday. Hedman with a blast. Scores! Victor Hedman!
Coach John Cooper earlier today. It involved a lot of Tom Wilson discussion. We'll talk more about that as this game progresses. This one fired to the line! In for John Carlson!
Just manages to get it out where it's taken over by Gonsalves. Another long stretch without a whistle. Here comes James up the middle, dishes off. Hagel scores!
Finley trying to force it out. It comes for Scotty Sabourin. Hustling here is Max Crozer to join. Sabourin to wrist, and he scores! And just 3 so far for Braden Point.
He's a player you don't worry about. You know, he'll get it back.
Here's a chance in the slot, and it hit a man, and they score! To Fox, he settles it down, but gave it away, and here's Gensel with a chance to break in alone. Jake Gensel shorthanded. Scores!
And movement in general into his play. He's a key player for them.
Kucherov off the draw, scores! And it's Lilleberg who picks the top corner. Chance for the empty net, a bank shot just misses. No icing, and that one won't miss. Zemgus Girgensons' empty net goal. Left side, Braden Point in on Myers. Now he'll step away from him. Point's going to leave it for Radish on the switch. Over to Kucherov. Scores! Kachuk overskated that one, but it's given up to Hagel. Hagel gets it back to the line. Chernak with a drive. Scores! Who has played every single game in his career to this point. This one's turned over, and away goes Gensel. Gensel's in! Scores! He's angled off by Dillon. They go into the boards heavily there. Out in front for Kucherov! Scores! Nikita Kucherov! Here's Kucherov. Point. Radish. Back up top. Darren Radish takes a look. Takes the shot. Tip! Scores! Jake Gensel. Here's Kucherov again. Lets it go. Looking for the tip from Gensel. Kucherov again. Inside of Gensel. Scores!
Jansen Harkins snaps one wide of the net. A good keep on the far boards. Allows Nestorenko to come into the middle. Rebound to Ross Johnston. They score! Harkins gets to the loose puck. And Anaheim strikes first.
Two by Vasilevsky. One on Hyman. One on Roslovic. And here comes Radish. He's got Gensel.
Just over 87%. And here's a chance short-handed for Hagel. Scores! Brandon Hagel with a short-handed goal. Short-handed, 2 goals in 2:28. Here's Hagel. Scores! Brandon Hagel, a one-time wire to the back of the net. Snaps this one back across. Knocked down, controlled by Destu, and the Lightning are out. Here's a lead pass. Kucherov, breakaway, in, score! Backhand feed, rink wide, Lightning step back in. Pass in front, backhander, kick save, rebound, and his line is tapped in, and the Lightning score!
To get it out of the zone, especially when you're standing still deep in your own end.
Here's Hagel picking his way in. Kucherov back to Lilleberg, shoots, scores! Good opportunity for Matvei Michkov. The 5 goals of the season. Across, Hagel in, hold in front, scores! Forster can't contain, and here's a chance to seal the deal. Kucherov in, puts it across, Brandon Hagel!
One-timer, score! Beautiful passing and a blast from John Carlson.
Was Andrei Vasilevsky. Now here's the other way. Scores! Brandon Hagel! The Hagel heater continues. Emil Lilleberg gives that one up. Here is Gensel again. Flips it across. Taking it off the board. There's Paul back to Destu. Scores! Flames step back into the Lightning zone. That pass is blocked and turned back by the Lightning in the other direction. Into the line to the net. Scores!
I'll let you decide.
Okay, that's probably a good idea. Here's a break for Kucherov up the ice. Kucherov in, dishes off, back to Kucherov! Scores!
Centering pass, a little bit too hot to handle for the dangerous Kyle Connor. Back come the Caps with Tom Wilson. Wilson feeds, Carlson fires, he scores!
Red Wings have been a pretty decent second period team as well, something to watch. And here's a chance for Gonsalves! Scores! Gage Gonsalves! Support comes, and now it's into the middle for Gord and Girgensons. Girgensons on the right, back across, loose puck for Gord. He bangs away and scores! His goal tied the game at 1 back in the first period. And the Lightning have built a 1-goal lead here in the second. There is Holmberg to the net. Loose puck for Gord! Scores! Up top to Radish. Radish to Kucherov. Radish with a shot. Tip. Scores! Jake Gensel right to the doorstep. Across they go, and this one rolls in on Vasilevsky. Puck stays alive, and it's cleared. And here's a chance to put the finish to this one. Hagel scores! And to Mika Zibanejad, who had 2 goals yesterday, and the Rangers win. Radish taps that one inside. Down low. Scores! Hagel took the shot. It went off a range. Locked in at 100 miles an hour. Up ahead, Hagel got a breakaway. Hagel in. Stopped by Shesterkin. Rebound. Scores! And now Guentzel is not going to miss. He and Gord going back and forth. They give it to Guentzel. There's the empty netter. Throws it back in the corner. Lilleberg is up in the play. James scores! Dominic James from an impossible angle. Wide on Shea. Hangs on to it, gets it to Radish. Radish weaving his way in, pulls him across. Kucherov scores! Radish slides it across to Kucherov. 5th power play of the game for the Lightning. There's a shot. Scores! Brandon Hagel! Now he's got it again. Here's Hagel. He's in. He scores! Brandon Hagel has tied the game. And Demidov and the recently added Texier. Here's Braden Point. Point is in. Scores! Braden Point with an early goal for the Lightning. And that one gets away from Dobson. Here's Holmberg out of the box. Holmberg in, scores! Pontus Holmberg steps into the box and buries one. And it comes back for Crozier. Penalty call coming up. Scores! The puck came free for Kucherov, and he buries it. And now the Lightning are going to try to test Sam Montembeault. There's a jam play at the side of the net by Guentzel. That was close. Out from behind the net. Out from Testu. He scores! Hughes with the goal. The assist going to Dylan and Connor. Banked up ahead. Chip forward. Here comes Holmberg. Holmberg scores! Now Mercer's in. They pull it back and push it into the corner. Point in front. Back across. Shot, rebound. Scores! Hagel in. Snaps it across to Kucherov. In front. That goes the other side. Scores! Brandon Hagel from an impossible angle. Gathered by Hagel. Hagel into the middle. Moser down low. Kucherov back in front. They score! What a pass from Kucherov! They want to try to get back to what they were doing for the entirety of the second. There's a good face-off win. Kucherov slides into Moser. Scores! J.J. Moser! Point takes the puck wide. Stops up in the corner. Looks back towards Bjorkstrand. Across he goes to Crozier. Scores! Jesper Boquist gave it up, and Radish sends it back inside. Here's Point. Finds the late man. Moser holds. Shoots. Scores!
As Sordoff drives to the cage, puts that backhander through the paint. Another rip from the wide angle. Scores! John Carlson and the
Good face-off win by Green against Ridley Gregg. That allows Kaiser to go to the puck in the corner with a bit of time, and he'll fire a long pass ahead. Here's Mikheyev with a bit of room. Scores! Mikheyev! Long feed, Donato chipped over. Good pass to Moore. Burst of speed. Donato in front. They score! It went in. It was in.
Robinson chops to that, held to the line. Shot comes right back to Crozier. He'll feed it down low. Send it out in front. They score! Gage Gonsalves, and that is what they needed. Lost last night. Here's Kucherov carving his way to the middle. Picked up on the line. Stepping in is Testu. Scores! They outshot Carolina 14-6 in that second. And here's a break. Stepping up. McDonough scores! Radish, hand in the middle, reaching for it is Paul. Paul bumps with Gostisbehere. Works this one back to the point. Moser in there. Kochetkov, son, rebound, scores! The hitters try to center it, can't. Hard around the board. Guentzel takes a look, shoots, scores! Empty net goal! Jake Guentzel, 6-4. Much better start than they had Saturday against Carolina. Here's a shot, scores! And how's that for a start? 1-0, Tampa Bay.
So used to calling this the Gord line because we've seen it together. Cirelli's been in the middle of that line left.
Oh, it's tipped in front. Call it whatever you want.
great health and happiness as Leonard works in. Nice passing combination. Carlson fires. He scores!
Second power play of the game for Florida. They had no shots on their previous attempt, and here's a clear and a chance up there for Guentzel. Guentzel in short-handed, scores! Uvis Belinskas at center, fires it back in, goes off a leg there and does not get deep. So now the Lightning back across. Here's a chance, scores! Here's Santini, sweeps that aside, and it's skated out by Declan Carlisle. Chipped in the middle by Gonzalez, and now it's a 2-on-1 break. Point across. Oh, big save by Bobrovsky. No, it gets in. My mistake. Into the middle, and now along the boards. Final minute of regulation, sponsored by Anajar Levine. Empty net goal by Kucherov. Passed up the shot. Here comes one. No, that is blocked. Broken stick, and now a pass up ahead. Here's Kucherov in. Score! Banked forward by Slavkovsky, does not get there. Turned back by Point. Point up, across Kucherov. Oh, is it finally going to be back in front? They score! Inside the line, Bjorkstrand scores! And gets one right back. Turned around, sent it in, tipped in by Pontus Holmberg. On top, Radish. Moser looks, shoots, scores! J.J. Moser gets it back for Tampa Bay.
Of Harkins and back into the Tampa Bay zone. Oh, here's a turnover. Ross Johnston makes the pass. Harkins scores!
Sponsored by Anajar Levine. Point, dishes off. Out of the corner comes Gensel. Kucherov back up top. One-time shot, scores! Does Stu. Hagel in, across, shot, scores! A one-time rocket from Nikita Kucherov! Back into the middle, ends up back in the line for Radish. Near side for Jake Gensel. Kucherov, Gensel, down low, Point, scores! Braden Point in, all the way around Doughty. Cut off there by Turcotte. In comes Radish now into the point, and he scores! Hagel cuts into the middle, then drops it off to Kucherov. Kucherov on the back and around the net, centers it out in front. Hagel can't get free. Cirelli scores! Cirelli up the ice with Gonzalez. Gonzalez on the back and to the net. Got his shot away. Kemper has got it. It stays loose on the opposite side, and they tuck it in! Final minute now. Here's a bouncing puck, knocked away. Corey Perry thought he had one. This one's going to roll past the empty net. Kucherov's there, tucks it home.
All over the ice, the Hawks relentless backtracking through the neutral zone and forcing the Dallas Stars to turn it over.
Here's another chance for the Hawks as they keep it alive. What a goal by Mikheyev! Are you kidding me? Ilya Mikheyev wheeling in with speed. He has one tonight. That scores, make it two. How did that get through?
That one bounced away from San Jose. Up in the play was Pavel Regenda. Kucherov back in over the line. Return feed ends up with Point. Shot, scores! Throws it towards the net, off a skate and straight to the Lightning. Gensel up ahead. Into the middle of the ice is Hagel. Back to Gensel. Back to Hagel. Scores!
Especially with Radish, so much confidence right now and already 2 goals in this game.
That smile over there on the bench says it all. Here's a chance. In front, scores! His 4th. Back to the line, they'll set things up again. Here is Kucherov, and shoots, scores!
4 and 5, 6 players in that scrum now. Dowd emerges. John Carlson eyes up. Long range, full time!
We're well into the final minute, sponsored by Anajar and Levine. Radish off the draw. They give to Kucherov. Here's Gensel, walks out, shoots, scores! That one was blocked. Radish with a drive. That does not get through. Here's Gord again with time. In front. Scores! Trying to cut back on Nelson. Nelson doing well not to get baited into a penalty. Here's Crozier. Drops off. Hang on. Scores! Vasilevsky standing his ground. Radish up ahead. There's an empty net to shoot at. Cirelli. Bingo! Empty net goal. Nikita Kucherov on an 8-game burner. Turnover, Kucherov's open in front, scores! Nikita Kucherov! That's 2 at 5 blocks in that victory over the Avalanche. In the line is Kucherov again, takes it one, hits, oh, it scores! Kucherov! Michkov trying to bank it forward, not strong enough, knocked down and moves right back out by the Lightning. Good pass up ahead, Gonzalez scores! Great shot blocked.
Vladar took it over right from the very first game he played, and Vladar's been their guy.
Here's Hagel. He scores. Here's Zegras. Zegras carries in over the line, got cut off, and now here is a break. Down the ice, breakaway, in, scores! Get it right back up to him, and here they come again. point. To Kucherov. Kucherov goes back to Gonsalves. Scores! Cates reaching for that. Girgensons puts it towards the net. Loose in front. Vladar down. Tracking that puck, and it's in! It's batted in! Hagel back to Cernak again. Walks the line. Looking for a seam. Instead drops it off. Hagel, Finn on the shot. Gets it across there. Shot from Cernak. Scores! Crowd wanted a call. None coming. Lining back up the ice. Bjorkstrand takes the shot. Loose puck. Scores! It's Hagel across Kucherov with a shot. Saved by Vladar on a good one-timer from Kucherov. Here's Hagel again. His shot. Scores! Fans on that one. Gets it back. Throws it up. Wide open net. Empty net goal for Nikita Kucherov. Makes it 5-1. Chance for Tampa Bay up the ice. Gord trying to get away. Gord in. Save again by Sheila. Puck is loose and it's tucked in. And the Lightning have scored. Just around the midway point of this second period. And they need a power play goal here. They win the drop. Here's Radish. Kucherov puts that one across. Back to Kucherov. Score! And the loose puck picked up again by Crozier. To Stu. Right onto the tape for Dominic James. James to the net. Takes the shot. Scores! Chances at either end. Here's Hagel. Goes to Cirelli. Anthony Cirelli back to Radish with a shot. Rebound. Kucherov down low. In behind. No, yes! And he cannot get it around. Winberg comes back inside the San Jose line. Giving up to Kucherov. Following up at Cirelli. Cirelli hangs on. Puts it in front. Tip. Score! Another pass, wide open, shot down low, pass for Hagel, wraparound, scores! Brandon Hagel! Out in front, scores! A pass from the corner, buried by Jake Gensel. And this one is wide open. Who's going to take it, boys? Hagel, empty net goal. That will do it.
Gains the line, dishes it. Colton turns it over, and Gauthier able to take it away as Gudas got it ahead to him. The trailers. Biel, he scores! Jeffrey Biel.
Point to point it goes. Mikheyev, a great stick. Tries to break shorthanded. Gathers the puck in. Green to the net. Sheet save made by Anderson. Score on the rebound. Handled nicely by Vlasic. It pops free though. In front. Score! Kucherov on the backhand. He does it again.
Insel, second on the team in points. Dumps it back. Oh! Scores! How did that go in?
That's an own goal. Whoever has the puck coming up the ice, they're taking the shot.
Here's Hagel. Gets it in front. Kucherov scores! Christensen, that is broken up, and here comes Kucherov again. Kucherov in, pass, scores! Anthony Cirelli and the Lightning have tied the game. Here's Gensel from the line, stepped in, and they hold it inside the line. You must have some exhausted Jacket players out there. Here's Gensel, shoots, score! Still 22 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Kucherov gets it free. Here's Cirelli with a shot. Oh, they score!
Vlasic trying to corral the loose puck and able to get it free. Good work by Vlasic. He'll feed it ahead. Here comes Mikheyev down the wing with a shot. He scores! Mikheyev goes far corner and in.
Conscious enough of where Winnipeg Jets are away from the puck.
Here's James in, scores! Dominic James! Back to Radish. Over to Moser. Radish, Kucherov, slap pass, Gord! Scores! Yanni Gord! Picked up by Girgensons, flipped up to the blue line and up ahead, and he's going to get this one. Kucherov, empty net goal, and that's going to do it.
In the Stadium Series game from Tampa. Here are the starting lineups at the bottom of your screen, and a goal 11 seconds in for the Tampa Bay Lightning. 8:15 to go. Tampa Bay scores!
Schaefer fires just wide. Stevenson never flinched. He didn't see it. John Carlson all the way! Yes!
There's Donato. He's got one tonight. Working hard behind the net. Ryan Donato gets the puck to Dickinson. Throws a shot. Oh, they scored! Tipped in by Mikheyev.
He gets handed one by Zucker, who races to the bench, and he picks up A new stick of his own. Taken away by Guentzel. Kucherov scores! Kucherov able to protect the puck. Slings it all the way up to Guentzel. The game on his stick. By Tarasov. James with a point-blank miss. And then Hedman. Another try. Score! Backpedaling. Tosses it on net. Hagel. Holmberg drops. Here's Gergensen. Shoots out Tarasov. And the rebound put wide. Right on the doorstep. A chance for Holmberg. Backhand score! It keeps onside. Hagel tried to slide one across. It ends up with Guentzel. Kucherov thought about a one-timer. Radish tries it. Save made. Rebound score! Guentzel. Well, Gonsalves and a good save by Tarasov. It's across for another Risker. And that one unable to control Tarasov. Wraparound try. Scores! To his forehand. Shoot. Save made. Tarasov. Gonsalves sweeps it out in front. Poking it. Score!
A spin off of Nyes. Point. Works its way over for Dastu. Dastu to the front. Point. Scores! So nothing on that one from Nikita Kucherov. But this could be Gonsalves scores! Moser back on his feet. Towards Kucherov. It's Point instead. Braden Point for Gonsalves. What a pass, and they score!
Must have. It was rolling when he got it. I know that. And he was looking away from the net. He just kind of shuffled it towards it.
Kucherov, Point scores!
The Olympic gold medalist chases after that one on the forecheck. In there against Walker. Got it to Sabourin. Sabourin out front. Scores! Sabourin with a great pass to Brandon Hagel. Goal number 28 of the season for Hagel, closing in on that 30-goal mark again. He had 35 last season. Here's Kucherov. Kucherov hangs on, waits, shoots, scores! First opportunity tonight. They went 0 for 4 last night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they start with the puck. Out in front, scores! Braden Point, power play goal!
Big, strong guy, can really shoot, score some goals. In his jeans, he's a big guy.
Look out, here's the chance of the backhand. Dominic James scores. By Buffalo. At the line, it's Radish. He'll work it across. Hedman lows, fires, score! And he should be good and ready and fresh once the important games arrive.
Well, he's the kind of player like Quinn Hughes is for Minnesota. Control.
Guentzel across, Point across, shot, scores! So the Lightning have had a strong start to this third period. Now they've got an early power play to try to get on the board. They start with a face-off win. That shot out in front, Point scores!
Matthew Pana usually wears number 88. Yep. Here's a chance for more with the pass in front. They score! What a setup! And what a finish by the former Canuck, Ilya Mikheyev.
Shoveled up the boards to Nikita Kucherov. He'll leave it for Point, and Point steps in. They'll leave for Kucherov. He'll dish it off. McDonough in front, and they score!
21-1. Now it's time to get back to it.
Lightning with the puck off the draw. Delayed penalty coming up. Chipped in front. The Lightning have scored again. The net is empty for the Leafs. Extra attacker is on as they're trying to make something happen. And this is going to extend the Lightning lead. Brandon Hagel scramble in front, and that loose puck is cleared by Buffalo. Not out, held by Radish. Kucherov again, fans of the shot, and it's tucked in at the side of the net. It trickles in. Who's had a couple of great opportunities tonight. Gord into the middle, shot, scores! Semgus Girgensons! Moser tripped up along the side boards there by Ostlund. And good work by Geekie. Geekie makes a play. Here's Moser. Scores! And the Lightning have tied the game. Here's Kucherov. Here's Hagel now. Slides it inside for Moser. Across, quick shot. Scores! A pass to the far side for Nikita. Guentzel advances it now with a lane. Here comes Bjornstrand. He's in. Takes a shot. Rebound. Pulls it out in front. They score! Cutback move by Kucherov. Kucherov to the net. Slides it in front. Did not get through. And Kucherov out of the corner back to Radish with a shot. Rebound. Scores!
Inside their own blue line.
And they want to start testing Elvis Merzlikins, who's allowed 9 goals against in his last 2 starts. Here's Hedman with a shot. Scores!
Because there was no chance to shoot it back the other way.
Scores! Face-off win. J.J. Moser with a shot. Sheldon Dries Dry is blinking his Red Wings debut, recently called up from Grand Rapids. Here's Guentzel, scores! Shea Guentzel! In the corner, centered on in front. Kucherov was cut off, ends up with Point, headshot, tipped, scores! The Lightning get a deflection in front. Detroit was ready for that. Another steal by Points again. Point, shot, scores! Brandon Points, what a night he's having! Huge goal there by the Lightning to alleviate some pressure. Now with the empty net to shoot at. Bingo! Empty net goal. Into the middle, look out. Shot, save, Vasilevsky. On Svechnikov, and now here's a break. Gord in. Yanni Gord shot. Score! Curls around, and he does get it away to Destu. This is an odd man rush. Here's Point. In front, Destu. He scores! Destu! Couldn't get a shot away before the puck was stripped by McCann. McCann checked by Gonzalez. Here's Point in front for Gonzalez. Scores! Able to capitalize with a man advantage here in the first. Stays 1-0. Look out, steal by Kucherov. Puts it across, back to Kucherov. The tap in. Knocked past Holmberg and down the ice.
Whether it's east or west, winning the games in your division are big.
Lightning on the attack again, and another tap in.
But the little things add up, and the big hits along the way, and now there's more of an edge to the game.
Here's the Lightning again with a centering attempt, and it's batted home. And up the ice comes Victor Hedman. Hedman slams on the brakes of the line. Here's Hagel getting inside. Now they'll sit up. Here's Gonzalez back across. They score!
And really valuable for the Lightning team as a whole.
Kraken player got hit in front of the net there. That is McCann. He's all right. And meantime,
Wild are one of 3 teams not to be shut out this year. Also the Kings and the Bruins. And here come the Hawks. Mangiapane looking. Shot in front. Score!
Braden Point tripped up. No call. There's McDonough looking for Destu. Charlevoix Destu. Shoot! Score! The shot from the point! Crosses Girgensons behind the net. Gord. Keeps it moving. Holmberg. Now Radish. Shoot! Score! Radish, another shot. Found the back of the net. That might have been tipped as well. The light. Back for Cernak. And Kucherov shoots. Score! Another deflected puck. In front, it's 4-0 Lightning. Another point for Kucherov. Deals to Kucherov. Kucherov spinning on Vilander. Goes back to Cernak. Hagel. Centers in. Score! Cirelli! Back for DeBrusk. Off the stick. Moser after. JJ Moser skates to center. It's Kucherov. Forces for Hagel. Shoots! Score! Brandon Hagel! Kucherov shoots. That missed. Moser holds it in. JJ Moser. Fires. Save made. Rebound. Kucherov. A pass in front. Score! Cirelli! Guentzel wins the draw. Kucherov to Point. Back for Kucherov. Here's Guentzel stepping in front. Score! Jake Guentzel! They pressured off the goal line, which opened up. Darting through center. Got it across the blue line, but then he fumbled it away. Moser, they wanted another penalty. Moser, up ice. Kucherov has a short-handed breakaway. Score! Puts it to the corner. Point. Ozone shift here for the Lightning. 4.5 to play. Behind net Hagel. In front. Kucherov! Score! Kucherov! 38 seconds left. Power play Edmonton. Bouchard. Fed it up the middle. Nugent Hopkins dumps it in. Cirelli steals. Shoots it toward the open net. Bullseye! Score! Anthony Cirelli! Holding it in. Gonzalez to Point to the slot. Holds. Shoots. Tipped in front. Save made. Rebound Gonzalez. Beats McDonough. Fire. Score! McDonough with the shot. Pullman follows up. Pullman is checked. Gord a takeaway. Put it in front. Score! Pontus Holmberg! The Lightning tied it at 3!
Anders Lee's got the Islanders goal. Played back to the blue line, and it's stolen by Frondell. Nice pass to McCann. Here's McCann. Scores!
Sarajevo representing the United States as a 17-year-old. Here's Hagel into the slot. Score! Braden Point on the power play. Puck out to the point for Radish. Score!
before the game, and he was very humble. And oh, look out!
Oh, puck comes loose.
Well, he's got a bad edge. Second time he's fallen.
Empty net. Hagel scores. Puck is cleared out of the zone. Down to the final half minute.
It's going to be
This will be a goal. Awarded to Holmberg.
Eberle with a terrific stick there. That's a big scoring chance.
They've had a couple of good sticks in this period. Tapped in front. Anthony Cirelli. Kakko across to Fleury, and just inside the line where it's taken over by Radish. Up ahead. Here comes Gensel. In. Scores! Here's Lilleberg. Drops this one off into the middle. Pass across to Destu. Gets through. Destu trying to center it back. Roman's gone. Loose puck. They score! Banks went up ahead to Pontus Holmberg. He saw Clevin coming. Here's Gergensons now. Checked along the inboards by Zub. Loose puck picked up. Here's Destu. Scores! He did center it out in front, but it's taken away by Hagel. Hagel up the ice with Gonzalez. Back to Hagel. In front. Back in. Scores! What a goal! And the Lightning get it away. Now Perry takes his time. Lead pass. It's Gensel. Gensel in. He scores!
And he's one of the best in the business ever to do it. And it's lacking now.
Radish with a shot. Rebound. Gensel scores! And finally they break through. Ottinen makes a stop again with Brandon Hagel. With the shot. Here he is again. Hagel scores! Brandon Hagel!
They're back together with Levshunov out of the lineup. Puck dumped in by Crevier. Hey, weird bounce off the glass. Allen able to cut it off. Can't find it though. Here's a chance. Open and score! McCann capitalizes.
Their only goal came with the extra man. And now Seneca sails it ahead. Here's a shorthanded rush. John Carlson scores!
What a shot. Into the slot for Gergensons with a shot. And he just missed. Rebound picked up by Gensel. Gensel out from behind the net, wraps it around, and scores! Clifton to Kindle, turns this one over, quick drive, rebound Cirelli, hit shot, he scores! Anthony Cirelli! Second period faceoff sponsored by Rooms to Go, and here we go. And it was knocked away by Cirelli, and here he comes, short-handed, Cirelli in, score! Kucherov quickly up to Point. Point back in the middle, here's Gensel! That goes off the side of the net, throws it back in front for Point, he scores! Here is Gergensons, his shot goes high. Punched back in by McDonough. Centered out in front, Gergensons scores! At the near point, Radish holds it in. Gensel up top, Destu, back into the corner for Kucherov, back toward the net, scores! What a shot! Up ahead, Gonzalez gives it to Cirelli for the hat trick! Anthony Cirelli, and down come Matt!
Just over 4 minutes to go in the opening period. 2-1 St. Louis. Ellison's pass. Redirected in. Poehling backhands it across. They score! What a pass by Ryan Poehling, and Jeffrey Viel has tied the...
Oliver Bjorkstrand straight up the middle. His shot, save, rebound, ends up with Destu. Save, rebound, scores! Arvidsson swings it around. Zacha in the corner. Picked out of there by the Lightning, and they're not going to miss this. Puck is bouncing, and Kucherov with an empty net goal.
It's an effective strategy. Oh, good face-off win by Bedard. Kaiser with the bag. Empty net, McCabe. Up on it. Scores! McCabe into the empty net, and that should seal it with 1:12 to go.
Puck into the near point, then swings it around to Kucherov. Shift back for Nick Paul, back to Kucherov. Kucherov back to Radish. Over to Gensel. Back to Kucherov, a shot. Score!
A GM getting fired late.
Point gives it up. They score! Jay Gensel. Point put it on the tee for Gensel, and he buries it top shelf.
Ducks keep it in. Mintyukov goes across. Granlund drops it. Ripped home by John Carlson. Dropping down. Seneca. They move it around the perimeter. John Carlson lets it go and scores. Screen in front. Across the top of the zone. Now he'll swing out of the zone and switch sides with Troy Terry. John Carlson leans into a one-timer. Hat trick.
Back for McDonough. And a beautiful pass. sends Hagel in. He scores! Turning toward the net point. He turns it toward the net. They score! On the rebound.
Vlasic's very able to scoop it up. Make a long pass to Mikheyev. Wheeling in with speed. Shoots. Scores! Mikheyev! Followed up by Frondell. On the offensive attack with a shot. That was blocked. Bertuzzi follows around. They score! It's Mikheyev set up by Bertuzzi.
Battling for the rebound in front is Finney and couldn't get his stick free against Sabourin. And now here comes Geekie. He's pulled away. Connor Geekie scores! Paul got some time now. Little room in the corner. Gets it back to Gergensen. Tip, rebound! And they can't finish it. Stays alive for Chernak. And he scores! Fans wanted a tripping call. There's none coming. Here's a chance wide open. Kucherov in! Talbot got a piece of that. And they send it back to Gensel. Scores! He's in. Save Vasilevsky. And the Lightning come back the other way. Up the ice, it's Kucherov with point. Kucherov in. Point in. Kucherov scores! Mid-near point by McDonough. Lightning get right back to work. Here's Gensel back of the net. Gensel out in front. Back in. Scores! Lots of pressure here. More pucks to the net needed. It's Kucherov. Cuts it in the middle. Slides it down low. In front. They score! Here's Hagel and Cirelli and Gensel back to work. Still looking for the first shot on net. Hagel's shot does not get through. That one does! Scores! Brendan Hagel! Pass back across the seam. It's not been available all night. Here's Hagel now. Hagel with a shot. Thomas Robert scores! Big face-off here, won by Cirelli. Pulls it back to the line. Moser skating in. Moser with a shot. Scores! J.J. Moser!
They'll come right back into the slot.
Hagel hustled after that puck. Worked it around to Kucherov. Last half minute. Here's Point.
Yes.
Scores!
Smart play by McDonough, who keeps the puck in and gets it right to Kucherov.
Knocked down again by Hagel. Hagel with that stutter step. Scores!
Biel makes the play, bringing it into the middle of the ice. 2-on-1 with Moore. Moore has a trailer. Fired over top by the trailing Lacombe. Biel gets it back and scores! Jeffrey Biel!
Gensel around the net. Hangs on. Jay Gensel leads it for Moser on the switch. Moser back to Gensel. Scores! A huge goal! Jay Gensel has got the lone goal so far tonight for Tampa Bay. Here's Kucherov in front. Scores! Tapped in by Hagel. Here's Kucherov into the corner. Gets it back to Moser. Kucherov, quick shot. Scores! Kucherov to the net. It goes off of Hagel.
Well, he just missed it, Johnny. He went off his heel. That was a great play by Carlson.
Lacombe makes his way to the top of the slot. Back to John Carlson. Rips it on net. Chopped in. Diving effort by Biel. His second.
Of his own net is Chernak. Here's a 2-on-1. It's Dominic James. James in shot. Scores! And it goes high. And now a 2-on-1 potentially. Yes, it is. It's Gensel. He's in. Gensel shoots. Scores! Bumped off the puck. This one's going to be held in by Hagel. Hagel with some room. Down low. Walking out in front. Oh, loose puck. Scores! Gage Gonzalez. A Lightning. Saucers one near side to Gonzalez. Destu back to Gage Gonzalez. Destu with a shot. Scores! A power play goal! Tipped in by Dominic James!
Played by Shea Theodore. Off the skate of William Karlsson. Puck is settled down to the empty net. Score! Jansen Harkins back in the Ducks lineup.